So today on this Super K, I'm going to be undoing this extended hoe. You can see here. Now what I'm going to be doing is I'm pulling out this hydraulic ram, going to be resealing it. First thing you're going to want to do after you get to this point, I have other videos on how to take off the bucket and the extended hoe portion of that to access the ram. What you're going to want to do, you can come in here and you can see that there are two hydraulic hoses right here. Okay, I always mark them, so I put a zip tie on that side and a zip tie on this. The only access that you have to these hoses is right here. So when you do this, I highly recommend, don't even think about leaving those hoses in here on those rams. On this ram, you're going to want to change that hose. So to get this ram out now, I can undo this pin and pull that ram out. As I pull it, I'm going to want to put some tie wire around these or some mule tape to pull up. As I put new hoses on it and to bring this back in, I can pull those hoses right back through the same hole inside the stick frame here. So now I'm going to pull this out. I'm going to show you and teach you. You can see that this has been bleeding off. If you look up in here, it's all pretty nasty, and we're going to be replacing the seals in this hydraulic cylinder, as well as completely redoing this whole back end and this backhoe. I'm going to film it. A lot of times these stabilizers leak like crazy, so we're going to do every single ram on here in the process of doing that. So stay tuned, please like and subscribe. I'm going to go ahead and get this pulled out right now, and I'll be back in just a minute. So I went ahead and got this out of here. You undo this pin again. You can see my mule tape. It's taped off up here. You see it hanging out there. Had it tied to these hoses. This ram's not very heavy. It's probably 100 pounds or so, maybe 120. It's not very heavy. You can pull it out by your hand. You can see what I was talking about as far as these hoses go. You cannot access these opposite side of these hoses. So these hoses are going to be getting changed. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up in the bench vise and get these seals pulled out of here. And I'll just walk you through the steps on this ram as I reseal it. So now I got it up here on my bench, got it all wiped off. Again, like I said, this tube's probably only 3 inches. Not real heavy. Got it up here on my bench vise. So you're going to see a little set screw in here like this on the seam in between here. Let's go ahead and pop that out. I'm gonna grab another tool to get that out with. So now I went ahead and got that screw out. It sits right there. Right there. And so I like to use just a pipe wrench on this. If you don't have a spanner wrench, just get it on the end here and it'll just unscrew. It's not real tight to do it. Some people might say don't do it, but if you get it just right here, it's not going to affect anything. It won't affect one bit of it. Just don't try to get into this flange. Just try to keep it on this gland itself. So back that screw off, and you're just going to come in here and unscrew this. After you get that little screw, it's just a tiny little screw. It's a 1/4 inch. Go ahead and take that off, and this will slide right out, and it's going to expose your piston. So as this comes out, be able to, you can see the piston just right behind it, and you should be able to pull it and tug it right out. And then I'm going to get this all set up in this bench on this here, and start resealing it, and I'll show you what it's going to look like. So I got this set up in here. You can see that I have the eyelet clamped here. That's so that when I go ahead and torque this, that I can get this off. I got a block of wood set up here. I'm going to hit it with my impact. As you can see, it's just a bolt that runs in here. Holds this piston on. There's nothing to this piston. It looks like there's just 2 seals. You got a wear seal, and then you have your normal hydraulic seal here, and then your gland. So nothing to this really. I'm going to get this off. If I can't get this off with this impact, I'll put a cheater bar out here with a big 3/4 inch ratcheting wrench, and I'll move this bar, or I'll move this wood right up here so I don't bend anything, and we'll bust that nut off. So now you can see that I got it out pretty easily. It's just this bolt. It's 1 1/8" size socket. Got ahead and impact, took it off, super easy. Here's your piston. Looks like there's just 2 seals on that piston. It's so bright out here, it's hard to see. There's 2 seals on that piston and this gland. One thing to note as you're putting this gland in is that this white seal down in there, you can see it's faced kind of as a C, and that goes down, it's angled down, so that when oil comes into this and it pushes up against it, it actually opens that seal up and seals around this rod. So thanks for watching. Go ahead and like, subscribe if you haven't already.